Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name's Chronic Heroes here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Arrivals Rocket Build. Now I say it's my Arrivals Rocket Build, obviously there's people that have done something similar or the same. I'm not the first person to come up with this idea, but this is the one that I conceived of myself. Now I'd like to call this one more of a mini build. It's not a fully fleshed out build talking about exotic armor, specific exotic weapons, or any of that whatnot. It's just going to be talking about the main seasonal mods for this particular build with a couple other mods along the way. The basic premise of this build is getting stacks of charge with light, then using that charge of light to increase your weapon damage and your rocket damage to do a lot of great stuff. And with the new perk Argent Ordnance, we can get our rocket launchers to do a lot more damage. And if you've seen my previous PvE heavy spreadsheet, you'll see that the rocket launchers are no longer all the way at the bottom. They're somewhere near the middle, which is a pretty exciting thing to have. That being said, they're not going to be the top DPS in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely something fun to use. And that's what this build is. It's a fun build to use, lots of fun explosions, not really something I would say is endgame. Before I get started, just wanted to mention I do have a giveaway going on right now. Astro A40 headset, blue microphone, and Control Freaks gift code, link in the description down below. Moving on, let's go ahead and get into the specs of it. For the most part, you can use this on any class or subclass. It is not specific to a Warlock. That's just what I happen to use in the video. I personally like using the Deathbringer, Truth, Two-Tailed Fox. These are very strong rocket launchers these days. For some reason, Wardcliff still is not up to snuff, or any legendary rocket also works as well. On top of that, another important part is going to be having a masterworked weapon, specifically a masterworked primary, unless you're going to be getting a lot of kills with your special. And of course, I just like having mountaintop on top of that, more explosions for the explosive build, just kind of feels like a demo man build. And if you decide to use Blast Radius, a seasonal mod, having a grenade launcher plus a rocket launcher for more orbs and more charge of light, it's really nice to have. So mountaintop is still a great pick. Now, where this build comes into shape, and the most important parts, is going to be the armor mods that you choose, specifically the seasonal armor mods, a couple of that have come out this season. So you can see on screen right now my full list of recommended mods. Now obviously there are more than 5 mods here. You cannot technically put all of these mods, but depending on which mods you have and what kind of things you want to use to get your charge of light, it's going to be different for different people. My personal preference are going to be the ones in bold. So let's go ahead and talk about them. For gaining charge with light, first off, stacks on stacks. Gain an extra stack whenever you gain a stack of charge with light. Taking charge, gain a charge from picking up an orb of light, which means you get 2 charges with orbs. Supercharged, 2 additional stacks to your maximum, meaning we have a 4 maximum stack now. And for using your charge with light, first of all, high energy fire. When charged with light, you get a 20% bonus weapon damage bonus, and it consumes a stack on a kill. And finally, Argent Ordnance. When you have charge with light, you deal extra damage with your rocket, consuming a stack on hit. Now here comes the flowchart. Every time you get 2 kills with a masterwork weapon, that spawns an orb of light. You pick up that orb of light, you get 2 stacks of charge with light. Each kill you then get beyond that will also consume a stack. So if you get a double kill, you spawn an orb, consume both stacks, and then get 2 stacks back, allowing you to have pretty much infinite high energy fire. On top of that, your teammates can also create orbs from their masterwork weapons and their supers. So if they're all using a build like this, everybody's going to be spawning orbs for each other, also getting lots of charge with light, also extra weapon damage. It's just a great stuff to have. For the most part, those first 4 mods is a good framework for a lot of different charge with light builds. Obviously, it does use 4 out of the 5 potential slots, so you do have to configure things in a little bit of a different way when you use different things, but pretty much those 4 mods on any one of your PvE builds is going to be giving you a lot of free damage. In this particular build, we're adding in that extra rocket damage because it's all about the rocket launchers. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about different specific mods for the different parts of your armor. For the most part, you can see on screen, it has to do with all of the different rocket launcher and basic heavy ammo stuff across the board. Having the ability to get more rocket launcher ammo, switch faster to rocket launcher, having more reserves, faster loading, all of this stuff is going to be very nice for using rocket launchers more frequently, and of course more damage. It's just good to have, so I recommend having as much of this as you can. Obviously you cannot have all of this, you just won't have enough points. And that is pretty much the basics of the build. Again, this is just a mini build, just talking about some interesting stuff I saw from some of these seasonal mods. I look forward to some of the ideas that I have for some other builds. Obviously a lot of people are going to be using those sword builds with Lucian Blade and the Oppressive Darkness. Lots of fun stuff there. Might make my own little custom one in the future. Let me know what you want to see. On top of that, you can also use a lot of these mods in the Crucible, which is kind of game breaking and a lot of game changing. So if you're not using some of these mods in the Crucible or in PvE, you are missing out on a lot of potential damage and bonuses, and other people are going to be using it to do more damage to you. So make sure you get yourself familiarized, because it's kind of game changing. But yeah, that is going to be the end of it. That is the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, my name is Chronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.